through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through? For you, for you, for you, for you, for you, won't you let the light shine for you, for you.
I've been searching for a piece of me. I've been counting on the heads of time. I love my body, I love my mind. With desire for out of place, out of space, floating higher.
Feathers been calling, my enemies stalling, my people been ballin', my team we been wildin'. Canada hunted, we use basic tools. Strategies moving when we gotta move. There wasn't no option, no time on the clock, and no setting it back, and we gotta get profit. I'm standing on top of the glory, the road. We was just rebels, ain't do what was told. When they asked me how we leveled up, without us getting stuck, we just muscled up. This game spin, no one gotta tighten up, gotta muscle up, or you will get stuck in this game. Falling, I'm balling on top of that mountain. I'm on and I'm calling my mama to tell her I'm good. I'm surrounded by family like back in the hood. I was falling from grace, I was misunderstood. Hey, the pressure would sit you right down, but I stood up. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. On the balcony screaming, they just let me be. B had to slow it down. What goes around comes around. Oh, the frequency different now. I was going through different rounds. Hey, it's crazy, the progress is hitting now. Ain't no sitting and lost and found. I found what I lost in a minute now. I was on the wrong path, I admit it now. My only option was to get it now.
I got it on both and I learned from the losses. My failure was friendship, I saw it was costing. Started like everyone got certain tools. Only difference is I knew what to do. Now everyone calling and progress is stalling. My stock is missing, my life it ain't boring. Ain't no more hitting me up when you lose. When it's time to wake up, see you hitting the snooze.
When they ask me how we leveled up, without us getting stuck, we just muscled up. This game spin, no one gotta tighten up, gotta muscle up, or you will get stuck in this game.
Has arrived.
Hostiles. Repeat, we have hostiles. Mayday, mayday.
Oh my God, there's hundreds of them.
On October 10th,
we came here from the digital world.
The war for our world begins.
What in God's name is that?
In IMAX.
This is the end to this world.
No, it's not.
But I can help you.
Tron Ares, rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Only in theaters October 10th. Get tickets now.
I just got my first paycheck. What do I do now?
We can help with that.
I won my first tournament. So now what?
You can deposit that check with the First Source mobile app.
Now that I've got endorsement deals, should I make this business official?
We can find a small business loan that works for you.
FirstSource.com. Member FDIC.
Don't overpay for forklift service. At Quality Lift Equipment, we deliver the most complete preventive maintenance in the industry and the best pricing in the area. Need an upgrade? Check out our new heli forklifts, built tough, built to last, and priced to move. With service, savings, and seriously knowledgeable technicians, we've got everything your business needs to keep moving forward. Strong on service, stronger on price. Quality Lift Equipment.
You'll never love me like you love JT back in 03. Up on MTV on a stage wearing shoes made of diamonds, singing songs about you like a siren. No, I won't be what you seem to need, cause I don't see what you seem to see. Ain't got troops in a crowd all united, ain't got you screaming loud and excited. I can't ever be the Backstreet Boy you want me to. I just can't measure up, no, I'm not in sync with the fashion. I ain't got the passion, never gonna be what you want. Backstreet Boy you want me to. I just don't dress the part, no, I ain't got Nikes and my hair ain't spiky. And we both know that I can't be your Backstreet Boy. You'll never want me like you want CDs from the 90s, like you want Mac Clean, and I can't say to your face I don't want it that way. You seem stuck in a decade that you were born. Open one day and wake up on a tour bus headed to Rome for a Coliseum concert with thousands of crazy fans looking up at the stage at me dancing, knowing I'm your man. I can't ever be the Backstreet Boy you want me to. I just can't measure up, no, I'm not in sync with the fashion. I ain't got the passion, never gonna be what you want. Backstreet Boy you want me to. I just don't dress the part, no, I ain't got Nikes and my hair ain't spiky. And we both know that I can't be your Backstreet Boy. I will never be the Backstreet Boy you want me to. I just can't measure up, no, I'm not in sync with the fashion. I ain't got the passion, never gonna be what you want. Backstreet Boy you want me to. I just don't dress the part, no, I ain't got Nikes and my hair ain't spiky. And we both know that I can't be your Backstreet Boy.
Wish I could tell you that I want you here with me, but you'll never love me like the way we used to be. Too far from Saturn, lost in the patterns. Where's the stars aligned so we could be free? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away. Too far from heartbreak, can't feel the pain. Ain't it a shame I think I sold my only soul? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away. Yeah, we're on, now we're on. It will never be enough. Now we're gone and we're on our way. If I stay, if I go, it won't change this other road. So I guess I just have to wait for the feelings of pain. Oh, for the feelings of pain. Oh, if I stay, if I go, it won't change this other road. So I guess I just have to wait for the feelings of pain.
At Bippus State Bank, we're not here to impress you with fancy suits or canned sales pitches. We're here to help you grow your business with smart banking, straight answers, and local people who know what you're working toward. Whether you're expanding, hiring, or just need a banker who will actually return your call, Bippus State Bank gets it. Bippus State Bank. No suits, no scripts, just smart banking. Our newest branch coming soon to DuPont Road in Fort Wayne. Learn more at bippusbank.com. Member FDIC.
If you schedule hourly employees, you need When I Work. No more paper schedules or spreadsheets that are hard to share. Give your team 24/7 access to the schedule while you save time and money on labor costs. For every scheduling, time tracking, and communication issue you have, When I Work has the answer. Get your 14-day free trial at wheniwork.com.
Ready to buy a car, a home, or just want to take control of your money? Your FICO score matters, and 90% of top lenders use it to make decisions. Check your FICO score for free today without hurting your credit score. My FICO gives you the score lenders use most, plus credit reports and real-time alerts to help keep you on top of your credit. Visit myfico.com/free and take the mystery out of your FICO score.
I was going to write you a letter. When I turned the page, I'd have the courage, yeah. And it's tough to let go even after all of this time. You are the reason why I'm fucked up, was drugged up. I lucked out 'cause I believed in all those lies. That you loved me, you never loved me. I don't know how to accept that what you did still covers me back. And it's got me like, I feel so, I made this void now, you don't look back. And it's got me like, I feel so, let's let you that you move now. Even though I still feel the echoes, I'm fucked up and I can't love myself now. I live like I own these lies, and I'm not enough, though you're not enough. I just want to shut it up. Now what you did still colors me black. And it's got me like that. I feel so I made this void now. You don't look back. And it's got me like I feel so that's what you did.
Oh, put me deep in your ocean. Drown me in your touch. Let me show you devotion. Let me light you up. I just wanna show you the depths of my love. Let me enter your ocean. Drown me in your love, 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 oh, put me deep in your ocean. Drown me in your touch. Let me show you devotion. Let me light you up. I just wanna show you the depths of my love. Enter your ocean. Drown me in your love.
If I drown, would you pull me back to you? If I drown in your poison. Would you pull me back to you? If I drown
And we're live.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, get your snackies and drinks ready, and settle on in. We don't have a real long show tonight, but we do have a lot of good submissions. And that starts in 5 minutes.
And it just now came up on the screen for people to be able to see our lovely faces.
Right.
I actually hate that this has got such a huge delay.
Yeah, and we don't know why. I would like to say thanks to everybody who has followed us. We are 7 away from 50. Which apparently is our next goal.
Woohoo!
And yeah, it's hard to believe since we jumped ship and came over here.
Right.
That we have found such a great community, and our people have followed us over, and it's just an amazing, amazing thing. And I could not be happier about it at all. It is just amazing, and we are very blessed to have the community and the banter and things that we have with our people, and it's amazing, and I love it. And I would like to point out, this is a new shirt, and it's soft, and it has pockets. It's actually supposed to be a night shirt. We all know that I'm not going to wear it as a night shirt. I'm going to wear it for everything. So when I got it, this went viral on TikTok. For what reason, I have no idea, other than the fact Stranger Things, and this is going to be the last season coming out this year. So they made a bunch of these. They went viral. They're available at Walmart. But I couldn't find them. And then they redid our Walmart. Well, I went in and I found a lot of the, viral hoodies and stuff like that. But I was looking for this one. And I'm like, oh my God, I found it. And then it was like, oh my God, they had it in my size. And then I'm like, well, I know what I'm wearing on show tonight. So here we are. So just random things that I throw out there for everybody. How's everybody doing out there tonight? How is everybody's week so far? Because I know we've had, you know, some back and forth, trying to get stories written, trying to get, what's in here out to here. And it gets to be difficult after a while. And as everybody sees, it's just going to be me and Izzy tonight. Kesha is off living her best life. Little jelly, but we get to live vicariously through her. Hopefully there will be pictures. I mean, Izzy got a picture, but I'm waiting on pictures.
I did
Of the
get a
band.
picture. Well, no, I did not get a picture of the band. Although I'm sure we will see plenty more when she gets back. No, I got a picture of Marilyn Manson, which took me back 26 years ago when Kesh tried to goth me up for my very first rock concert to go see Marilyn Manson. And apparently, some other people thought inside our big, huge convention center where this concert was being held was a good idea to light up special wacky tobacco. And your girl had the munchies for about 3 freaking hours. So I got that, and I was like, is that seriously Manson? And flashback.
Which I told Izzy earlier how I met Manson.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome that music hits everybody differently, and we have that band, we have that moment where it's like that was us. That was us, and it goes back to a very specific time in our lives where we're like, that was the shit.
Yep.
Just like writing, we invoke things in our readers, but we also deal with a lot of shit ourselves through our writing. For some of us, we can't afford therapists, so we put our characters through hell.
Yeah. Oh, pardon me.
So, yeah, it's great. And that's the great thing. It doesn't matter if one person sees it or 1,000 people see it. You did the thing. And that's what this show's about, is just getting you to do the thing. Everything else will come in time. Or at least we hope. Uh, but any hoozle. Izzy went to Johnny Appleseed today, and she made chili.
I had to get my refill of homemade root beer.
Look, if you that's just one of those things. You get homemade root beer, that stuff just hits differently.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it's in a glass bottle.
Yes. And what I really like about this local company, it's called Little John's. Uh, they have a big, huge setup. They take up a whole corner lot. Um, they are always busy, and they have I think like 14 people at this U-shaped counter filling bottles. And there's still a line. But if you bring it back, they refill yours directly from the tap. So, and this year it was the I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me make sure that I am viewing it.
Ooh, that's pretty.
So this year was the 50th annual Johnny Appleseed Festival. So they went and got these bottles specially done up, and it's got their company name, and it says Johnny Appleseed Festival 50th. The other one I have from them has a paper label on it, so over time it's going to come off. But yeah, you can buy the bottles. They come in brown, clear, and blue, and then you show back up, and they refill them, so you don't need to buy more glass bottles.
Plus, they're really cool bottles.
They really are. And the kids bought a jug. So next year we're going to have 6 of these and the jug, and we'll be carrying them up there and go, we're here for our annual. I also hit the vintage and antique dealers up in the corner. That was the last place we went, and that's where I started to spend a little bit too much money. Because of course, as soon as I saw this, I was like, I need another TBR jar. Beautiful red, wide lip. So this is going to go with the Off With Her Head, the Sorry based Alice in Wonderland Gothic steampunk vintage aesthetic one. And then I also bought an antique perfume bottle.
Which is absolutely gorgeous.
So cute. So amazing. So cute. Where you stick it in the oil and then it's on there and then you touch it to your skin. I cannot wait to fill it with sandalwood oil. And then, of course, I also had to stop at my journal maker, my leather worker. They've gone through a name change a couple of years ago, so now they're called Page and Plunder. Anybody wants it, I will link their socials in the Discord. And I bought a couple of journals from them over the years, Traveler's Journal, and yes, I bought one for Julie. And when I bought it for Julie and sent it down to her, well, no, because I handed
No,
it
I
to you when you came up.
your truck.
Yep, that's right. I told them, I said, no, this is like perfect. I have a friend in Tennessee who is an author, and she's just absolutely gonna love this. So talk to them again this week, and of course, I needed more journals like I needed a hole in the head. We know this, but I couldn't turn down beautiful Medusa on the front, and this is hand dyed. He tools the leather and hand dyes it, and it's completely natural paper. What I love is this latching mechanism. I don't know if you can see that.
See, that's what I'm
There
in
we go.
love with.
And then flip. There we go. And then it is also very porous paper with the deckled edges. So who knows? Um, Notes for another story.
And hold on a second. You grab the one that Izzy
Yeah.
got me. Because it sits over in a place of honor on my shelf with my other books. And
Yes. There's the wolf.
and there's
Ooh,
Wolf. And originally this was got because I was supposed to be going to a couple of Renaissance festivals and shadowing so I could get some work done on my one series. But unfortunately that didn't happen because mom had gotten sick and all the other stuff had happened and it didn't work out. But if I ever do, I have my trusty journal which will go with me, which will make me look very much the part. And it is just it's beautiful and I love the way it feels. And the leather still smells like leather, so it's like it's. And I'm the type of person that that's the one thing I love about books is the smell. So yes, I know, isn't that gorgeous?
There's my Valkyrie. And then this was the second one I actually bought from them. Because, Mama Bear, the baby. And this one I've actually used junk journal style. So I have fun with that. I need to get back into that. This one doesn't have deckled edges. And I have no idea where my little traveler's notebook one is, but it's only about this big. You put little field note size notebooks in there, and you can switch them out. That's what I like about traveler's notebooks. The cover, you're always carrying carrying the cover, and you switch out the notebooks and then archive the notebooks. But yeah, I if you want to know about notebooks and journals,
But
where to get
between
the good
Izzy
quality, yeah,
I have two full
we got
shelves of
yes.
unused notebooks.
Mhm.
Or actually, wait a minute, 2.5. I have 2.5 shelves or cubicles in my shelf that are nothing but ready to use notebooks. That's not
Yep.
counting what's over here.
Yep. And Julie's got you for price. If you just need something to jot down your notes and whatnot, she knows which ones have the good bindings, which ones are going to not fall apart on you.
And which one's got the good paper so you're not bleeding through.
Right. And I've got the ones about, if you want pretty stuff on the front or, the and Page and Plunder also does other things. I saw a canister purse there. It's basically a round tube and it's got a latch on the front, and then when you unlatch it, it opens up almost like a cask from the side. Um, and they completely covered it in a leather piece that had a beautiful red cap mushroom on it, and it has a strap. And they do hair accessories, masks, dice towers, trinket holders. So, and it's all, as far as I'm aware, from what I understand, ethically sourced leather. So that's also something that, and he hand dyes his own. So if you want something that is like a treasured piece of whatever, I'm your girl. If you need something that's going to last your writing process, that's your girl.
I also will tell you which pens
Mhm.
will and won't work for that either, too. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I only use this.
You know, I'm a Sharpie girl.
I will only use Sharpie, and specifically those Sharpies, although I prefer the black one for work related. Of course, that might be because they give them to me for free. I mean,
now mind you, I do have this one right here, which is the one I sign my books with, and it's purple ink. But I've got black, I've got blue, I've got the black and blue in the different colors, and the black pen and the white pen. So when I go to events and stuff like that, I can find my stuff.
Yep.
But actually, I was really proud of myself when we were in Green Bay. I didn't lose my pen once.
No, you didn't.
also had a whole entourage of people keeping track of you and your stuff.
This is
Right,
true.
right. But even with all that, I never had to ask where my pen was.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep.
You guys have seen me literally put my pen down and it vanish.
You also live with 2 feline terrorists and a spawn.
Yeah, and he likes to take off my stuff regardless. So
right.
But thank you for joining us tonight, Patrick.
I got done with dinner, and I'll just say this: we went out to Crapper Barrel, and we had been given gift cards, and we're like, well, it's been a while. Let's see if they're worth anything still or not at all. Yeah, horrible service and horrible food.
I gotta say, of all the Cracker Barrels that I have ever been to, there was only one that I heavily, heavily disliked. So, and it was out west somewhere. Yeah, it was out west somewhere. The ones that we have here, they're all right.
Our closest Cracker Barrel, unfortunately, is either Jackson or Mayfield.
Right.
Both are
Now,
which are 40 minutes away.
I will say this: there have been several times that Kesh and I have stopped in one in East Central and East. I don't know. It might be the one because we stop in Chattanooga and then we go immediately to the hotel. So it's either Chattanooga or the other one. Anyway, always wonderful, always very, very kind. It's almost like they instantly take one look at us, looking absolutely exhausted and tired, and they see how her spawn is behaving after a very long drive up from the south, like the very south, and they are accommodating, no matter what, and they handle him and his questions very, very well. Because as we know, neurovariant kids, sometimes there's no off switch. And so, yeah, everybody at that particular Cracker Barrel is just always so amazing and kind and patient. Anyway, I'm gonna start bawling for whatever reason. I don't even know why. It's probably that chili. It's been a long day. That chili is sitting heavy in my food baby is still percolating, and
I told you it was filling.
Yep, very filling.
AZ got the infamous Julie's, which is a God, I don't even know how many generations, but it's a multi-generation chili recipe, which started out with my great great grandmother, and it has been passed down from generation to generation. Mom got it from Grandpa, and then she tweaked it, did her own thing. I've tweaked it, I've done my own thing, but we've kept the base the exact same. And if I've been accused of anything, it's that I can cook. Even
And
from
I
7.5
can't.
hours, I can walk somebody through it.
I can't. Like, there are some things that I have perfected, but like it takes me 4 to 5 really awful bad batches before I ever get it right.
Apparently not with me walking you through it.
I needed my instructor on staff.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get on into tonight's submissions. Up first, brother himself, in a very new book, and by very new, I mean like it doesn't even have a title yet. Or does it? And you haven't released it yet. Nope, still does not have a title. So we're on the second week of this, right? Second week with this particular story, and
it's not particularly written in order so far.
Oh wow, you're pulling a me.
Yep, after last week you had one chapter, and I was like, I can do better. And so this is a chapter I put before it to kind of help world build.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
So
And
don't
off.
come after me with the torches and pitchforks yet.
I make no promises.
That in itself is a promise, so.
I promise to make no promises?
There we go.
All right, and the name of the submission tonight is The Confessions Before the Break.
The pack house was quiet that night, its long stone halls echoing with the faint drip of rainwater and the distant shuffle of sentries outside. In the kitchen, the hearth still glowed with fading embers, casting a faint warmth across copper pots that gleamed faintly on their hooks. Michelle stood at the long wooden counter, sleeves rolled up, scrubbing the last of the dinner plates. The scent of lemon soap clung to her hands, sharp and clean against the grease she battled. She liked being the last one awake here. Alone, she could pretend the silence meant peace instead of exile. Alone, there were no whispers about her being wolfless, no sideways glances reminding her she didn't belong. The door creaked open. Michelle stiffened, fingers tightening on the plate. Kyle stepped inside, his broad shoulders filled the doorway, the lantern light gilding the angles of his face. His unusual swagger seemed worn down tonight. He looked tired. His jaw was tight, and his eyes carried something raw she couldn't quite name. She dropped her gaze, wishing he'd walk back out. Since yesterday morning, since the moon goddess had branded her with a bond she hadn't asked for, her chest had been nothing but fire and hollow ache. Michelle. Her name hung in the air, heavier than the scent of ash and soap. She turned back to the sink, stacking the clean plate with deliberate care. What do you want, Kyle? He hesitated before crossing the room. His boots sounded too loud on the stone floor, each step bringing him closer until she felt the heat of him at her side. I needed to talk to you, he said, voice rough. You've had years to talk, she replied, still not looking at him. You never did. He flinched, just barely, but enough for her to notice. Things are different now. His voice dropped, almost pleading. The bond. Michelle spun, the dishcloth twisting in her hands. The bond? You mean the one you spent our whole childhood ignoring until it suited you? Her voice cracked, but she forced herself to stand tall. You never gave me a second look. Not when I was carrying trays at feasts. Not when I sat alone while the other girls trained. Not when I begged for just one friend. And now, suddenly, I matter? Color rose along his cheekbones. His wolf flickered in his golden brown eyes, restless, unsettled. That's not fair. Fair? She let out a sharp laugh, bitter as old wine. Since when has anything about this been fair? Why do you always assume the worst? He shot back, frustration spilling through his voice. Can't you just trust me for once? Michelle froze at the words. The kitchen felt too small, the lantern light too bright. She gripped the cloth tighter, fighting the tremble in her hands. Kyle dragged a hand down his face, exhaling hard. His voice dropped, quieter now, the fight ebbing into something closer to desperation. It's not that I didn't see you, Michelle. I did. I always did. But my grandmother... He broke off, pacing 2 steps before turning back to her. She's been pressing me for months, telling me it's time I find my destined mate, a proper she-wolf, that a warrior of my strength should already be mated, should already be giving the pack pups. Do you know what it's like to have her stare at you with that disappointment every time you walk in a room? To be told you're wasting your life if you don't fall in line? Michelle's throat tightened. So that's it. I'm not proper enough. Not the kind of mate she'd want for you. His head snapped up. No, that's not what I mean. He ran a hand through his hair, leaving it disheveled. I'm saying she's already lined up candidates. Daughters of betas. Girls with wolves strong enough to carry the next generation. I've been trying to push back, to make her stop, but she won't let it go. And now with the bond... He clenched his fists. The goddess doesn't make mistakes. I know that. But she doesn't have to live under my grandmother's roof. Michelle swallowed against the ache in her chest. So you're going to reject me? His jaw locked. I want to marry you. I want to announce you as my mate at the next full moon. What if I want to reject you? Michelle's voice betrayed her confidence. His shoulders sagged. If I don't, she'll never stop coming after me. She'll make my life hell, Michelle. If you reject me, you think the whispers are cruel now? They'll triple. And she'll use her influence to turn the pack against you until you're nothing but an outcast in truth. I can't let her destroy you like that. Her breath came quick and shallow, her nails digging into the dishcloth until it tore. You think mating me will protect me? It's the only way I know how, he whispered. His wolf's desire bled through his scent, sharp and hungry. If I stand in front of the pack and make it clear I want you, if I make it seem like you are always enough, then the blame falls on me, not you, for taking so long. They'll think I threw away the goddess's gift because I was more worried about warrior training, not that you weren't worth it. Michelle stared at him, her heart twisting. You're going to humiliate me in front of everyone, and you call that protection? His eyes closed as if her words struck deeper than a blade. I call it surviving, grandmother. For you, it might just help you out of this. He gestured wildly around the kitchen. Please hold. All right, there we go. The silence stretched, heavy with everything unsaid. Michelle's wolfless soul ached in the empty space inside her. For so long, she had longed to be seen. Now that she was, it was only to be for politics and fear. Kyle opened his eyes again, gaze burning. I want this. You need to believe that. I couldn't defy the moon goddess if I could make the world bend to what I feel. He broke off, swallowing hard. I love you, Michelle. I don't know when it happened. Maybe I was blind all those years. Maybe I was a coward. But when the bond hit, it was like the ground broke open under my feet. I can't breathe without thinking of you. Her heart betrayed her, a single hot tear slipping free. But she shook her head. Love doesn't feel like this, Kyle. Not in front of everyone. His jaw clenched, eyes wild. Then hate me if you must. Hate me every day for the rest of your life. But know this, every word I say tomorrow will be for you, to shield you from more pain, to keep pack teeth off your throat. I'd rather you despise me than watch the pack tear you apart every day. He reached out then, catching her trembling hand in his. His thumb brushed her knuckles, warm, desperate. For a moment, she let it stay, let herself imagine a world where none of this was necessary. Then she pulled away. Go, Kyle, she whispered, before I start believing you. The words gutted him. His wolf snarled, restless, but he obeyed. With one last look, torn and raw, he turned and walked out, his boots echoing down the hall. Michelle pressed her torn dishcloth to her chest, trying to hold the pieces of herself together. Tomorrow, he would stand in front of them all and claim her only out of obligation. Tomorrow, her heart would burn in public for the sake of his grandmother's approval. This is nothing like the love stories she read at night. And yet his words lingered, like embers in ash. I love you.
Well, don't all start talking at once.
I had to unmute. I'm so confused. I mean, I know what happened last week, and I know this goes before that. And I'm not sure how much in between there is, but I am so confused. And at this particular point, I don't know whether to hate Kyle. I mean, it's Kyle. It's Kyle. But I don't know if where I'm supposed to. I mean, honestly, she's cut. If we're gonna be honest here, she's coming off a bit of a bitch. I do. I know there's reasons.
I'm going to argue. She's not coming off as a bitch.
Okay.
But she is hurt. Okay. I'm just saying all the different times that we as women have felt hurt and harmed, and because we didn't just take it, we were identified as a bitch.
No,
Right?
that's
So
not the reason that I'm
right,
saying that.
no.
And I understand there's context here that we're missing because it's Patrick. There's context we're missing, so we don't know exactly what he did. Other than the fact that she was born wolf, other than the fact that she's been born wolfless, or
Do you
she
know
thinks
she was
she was
born
born
worthless?
wolfless.
So I give you the context that she's known that they're supposed to be together. Yes, during a lot of werewolf lore, it's not until they hit a certain age that they actually know the mate bond and this, that, and the other. She's known him and he's ignored her. And then magically, all of a sudden, because Grammy says so, he's going to grasp at that Faded bond to prevent his grams from setting him up? Really? That's the only reason why you chose me now? Is because you
Yes.
don't want whatever your Grammy picks for you? Fuck you, is what he's thinking. What she's thinking. Is like,
Yeah.
I'm no one's second choice. I'm first choice or no choice at all.
Right. And like I said, there's a lot of context here that we're missing other than the fact that, she's grown up with him. She's supposedly wolfless. There's a lot of stuff that once you build up the story, it's just I don't know,
She literally says to him that he's ignored her their entire childhood.
right. But if I remember correctly from the stuff from last week, he rejected her.
But you have to remember, this chapter goes before all that. So this
Right.
preludes
So I'm
all.
trying to figure out.
So this is before all of that. So what
Mhm.
happens is you read into the next chapter. The next day at the feast, he publicly humiliates and rejects her. He wanted to give her false hope. There's the light bulb that's going off in those eyes. I see it right now. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I wanted to give you a reason to start the book by, oh, well, maybe he's changed. Maybe he's realized. Then you see his true colors, like a true Kyle.
Okay. No, he's the bitch. Okay. Gotcha. Just.
Hey, y'all remember? Okay, the audience might not, but y'all remember in Discord when I've mentioned about how when I was the game master for my Palladium role playing group, very similar to D&D, and there was a player who kept telling me how his alignment worked
Mm-hmm.
when I was the one teaching him how to play the game and what alignment was, and then he decided to pull a fucking bullshit stunt, and the rest of my players decided to annihilate his character in the most painfully. Okay. Yeah, his name was Kyle. This is all making sense now.
Okay. Rose's father's name.
Yes, Rose's father's name. Although I still, I don't know, I got a soft spot for Kyle, Rose's dad.
You won't
I
know in a
do.
bit.
Remember who he reminds me of?
Well, yes.
And there is a lot about my dad, not this one, but the other one, that I don't like how he handled. But
yeah,
deep down he's a good man, and he just chose the wrong bitch. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we're talking about Kate. Kate's a bitch. I mean, she's literally a female dog.
Literally.
Literally.
But any hoozles, moving right along.
Moving right along. We're an hour in after talking about work or the week and everything that we did. So next up is our lovely first prompter, Trisha Jones. And more than likely, this will be another short stab to the heart that is actually absolutely crushing in its intensity for sweetness or jaw dropping.
It's Joe.
It's Joe. It's gonna be sweetness and just like, oh, no, we love Joe. We absolutely love Joe. All right. Up next, Trisha Jones. I crawled into bed with Joe after a long day at work. Sleep eluded me, though, so I got up to not disturb Joe's sleep. I was thinking about everything that has been happening over the last few years. I felt blessed that I met Joe. Which it was not, because I was attacked by Edward. I went down to the kitchen to make myself a cup of tea. Once the tea was ready, I sat at the table and sipped it. After a while, Joe came down half asleep in his PJ pants. Anne, what are you doing up? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I came down here to make myself tea since I couldn't sleep, I responded. Why don't you come back to bed? He said, reaching his hand out to me, so we can snuggle. You go on back to bed. I will be up in a bit, I said, taking his hand and giving it a squeeze. He looked concerned. What's wrong, Anne? I must have been thinking about everything that has happened. I just have been thinking about everything that has happened, I answered. Is that good or bad? He asked worriedly. Mostly good. I met you and fell in love. He seemed to realize, and we are getting married. I smiled up at him. But? Joe asked, knowing there was a but coming. I sighed. But if Edward didn't attack me, I would never have met you, and my life would not be in danger like it has been. Sorry, having a moment. And I told you, and have done my best that I would keep you safe, Joe grumbled. I know you have, but with everything that happened with Amy and your Aunt Betsy, fuck Betsy, I feel like I will never truly be safe. Why do you always assume the worst? He said, frustration evident. Don't you trust me? I trust you so much, I said, getting up and hugging him. It's the world I don't trust. He hugged me back. I'm sorry you were brought into this world. But if I wasn't, I wouldn't have you. I hugged him tighter. Joe chuckled, kissed the top of my head. Come on, love. Let's go back to bed. I allowed him to lead me upstairs. I hoped I would be able to sleep. Apparently, I did fall asleep. I woke up to sun coming in the hole in the window shade. We need to either fix the shade or get a new one, I thought as I covered my face with my blanket. I felt Joe rub my hip. Baby, we need to get up. No, I don't want to, I whined. I know, sweetie, but you have work and I need to get some decorations for the wedding, he said, kissing the top of my head. I groaned. Fine. I got up and went into the bathroom to take a shower. Once I took a shower, I got dressed for work. I went down to the kitchen to get something to eat before going in. Joe was in the kitchen making something that smelled so good. It smells good, I said, as I sat down at the table. Thank you. I made a scrambled egg skillet thing I saw online, he responded, bringing food to the table. It doesn't look very good, but I tasted it, and it's pretty good. Okay, I will trust you, I said, and took a bite of food. Oh my God, it's so good.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
That literally, that thought process that Anne has, if this horrible thing had not happened to me, I would not have this. And that kind of shit hits me all the fucking time. Like, all the shit that happens with fate, right? I know that the universe decided that Julie and I needed to be partners in crime. Okay. Because the universe, two different scenarios tried to throw us together, right? So okay, we're just not gonna argue with fate. We're just not. We're not gonna do that. But if I hadn't followed, if I hadn't been homeless and needed a place to stay and hooked back up with that boyfriend after breaking up with him, I wouldn't have been in Tennessee. And I wouldn't have met Julie and her at the time fiance. If I hadn't gotten divorced this last time, I wouldn't be living in here trying to find, what am I going to fill all my time with? Okay, well, what's this thing called TikTok? Oh, there's books. There's people who talk about books on TikTok. If those things had not happened, we wouldn't have Hold My Pen Promptcast in its current format. And when it hits you that the good things in your life happened because of the pain, it's a lot of sleepless nights.
Yep.
Because then you start to wonder what other things could have been in my life that maybe were even better than what I got already. And it's a really gentle balance. You don't want to get too espresso, but you also, am I allowed to be happy with this really awesome thing because I got it because something bad happened? It's
For me, with all that, it's I took the risk. Now here's the fucking reward. I took the risk. I got on TikTok. Now, did I know when I got on TikTok that I was going to meet the amazing people that I did? No. Did I get a lot of hate for the stuff that I did? Absolutely. I also told them to all kiss my ass. Because I've been unapologetically me for approaching 40 years, and I am not going to be anything other than what you see in front of you. And as such, when people told me this was going to be a stupid idea, I was like, hold my fucking beer and let me fucking do this shit. And that started the weekly writing prompt challenge. By October, we had a freaking name. I had regulars. I had this. I had that. Now we're over on a wholly different platform. We've got almost 50 flipping people that tune in and watch us. We have people that are in the hundreds of views on our replays. None of that would have happened had, first of all, my own fucking redhead not kicked me in the fucking ass to do it, and then made everybody fucking promise around me without letting me know that I was going to continue to fucking do it. So, no, I understand. And it does hit hard. And now I'm trying to. Because it's finding the silver lining in a bad freaking situation. And regardless of what the situation is or how freaking bad it is, as long as you still got air in your fucking lungs, you can put your feet on the fucking floor, you can still rage against the fucking dying of the light until the fucking sun comes back up the next damn day. I know Bob Dylan.
And I think it's
on that one.
Well, and I think it's also hard when we start to think about the hard things or the bad things that we went through. And that's when it starts to just really, like, you start to feel bad. And when you're by yourself, and then it's like, but if this really awful thing hadn't happened, then, and then you start looking for those silver linings, like what you said. And, I have caught myself in the last couple of weeks, literally looking at my kids when they were complaining about something bad that happened, or when I catch myself complaining about something bad that happened. And there's Julie in my head going, but did you die?
But did you die? Or, I don't usually have this much in there. I'm like, well, just try it. If you don't like it, then we can adjust it. And now she's sitting over there with a food baby on her gut. I mean, like,
Yep.
tried and
Well,
true. Tried and
I'm
true.
I'm sorry, but 8 15-ounce cans of beans. Okay? We ain't gonna talk about the kinds of beans or anything else. 8 15-ounce cans.
Mind you, this recipe
We'll feed an army.
goes in a stock pot, either in a 5-quart crock pot or a stock pot.
Oh, it wouldn't even fit in a 5-pound crock. I literally had to cut back on some of the cans.
Yes.
And I have it in 2 crock pots. One is a 4-quart and one is a 3.5. So I'm sorry, Julie, but 4 plus 3.5 does not equal fitting in a 5-quart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, but I mean, for the majority of my young adult life, after having the kids and everything else, it was me popping Lex. Okay. Or it was me, Will, and his dad, or, whatever it was. And all I needed was the 4-quart.
Yeah.
That's all I needed, because that fed me, Pop, and Lex, And now I am feeding 2 young men constantly with testosterone raging through and coursing through their systems, who are constantly hungry. And then I'm hitting perimenopause, where I'm either constantly hungry or never hungry at all, and constantly with the hot flashes. Look, the Krause homestead has got a lot of emotions happening. So I need to get a 10-quart crock pot.
And in that process, though,
to feed us.
First of all, this is a tried and true recipe, like I said, passed on from generations. But this is also the same recipe my mom would make up on freaking tailgate nights for football. And the football players kill the stock pot.
Yeah.
So now when I make it, yeah, it does feel like overkill, because I'm used to cooking for 5 to 12 different people, and I'm down to 3, and I don't know how to do this. I've never had to just do it for just me and in like 2 other people. And mind you, one of those little people is very finicky about what he eats. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's a picky eater." No, he's not a picky eater. He just knows what the hell he likes. Most adults can't tell you what the hell they like. My 10-year-old can.
Right. This is very, very true. All right. We're going to take a quick break, and at some point when Shar gets around to it, we're going to get her to do a be right back. That still allows the chat to be on the side. But real quick, I'm going to turn off my camera, going to go to the restroom and get more to drink, and we're going to be right back in about 5 minutes.
So now you just get to talk to me. But yeah, it's a tried and true, and I've won 3 chili cook-offs with this recipe. Now, mind you, we did have to adjust it a little bit because of what Izzy was and wasn't able to obtain through her grocery store. Not a big deal. But when she's like, I'm trying to explain. I think the funny part was last night when she was doing the meat. She did the meat the night before, and I'm trying to explain. Just take the freaking thing and just shake it over the top until it's coated. She's like, Julie, give me measurements. I'm like, I can't give you measurements. I can't. I don't cook with measurements. I cook with my eyes and my nose, and occasionally my taste buds. Once I get it far enough along. Anybody else like that? Cook with your eyes and your taste buds? Yeah. So I had to guesstimate to myself, and mind you, I wrote it all down, but I had to guesstimate to myself on what the measurements of a lot of these seasonings are. The only one that has a very specific, like no more than this in it, is my secret ingredient, which apparently is not much of a secret. We found out last night through a Reddit post that quite a few people use that as a ingredient in their chili. Yeah, that was Izzy last night. She needed the measurements down to the teaspoon and tablespoon. And she's looking at me and she's like, that's a lot. And I'm like, it's also 2 pounds of meat. That's another thing. Izzy made it with 2 pounds of meat. I usually, if I'm making it very meaty, yes, I'll use 2 pounds. But typically I only use about 1.5 pounds. Her meat is very lean. I use whatever's the cheapest at the grocery store. So but yeah, when I gave Izzy my secret ingredient, she's like, a lot of people say, this particular ingredient doesn't belong in chili. I sat there and said, bullshit, I put it in every time. Now, I do have certain things, depending on where I'm feeling, like heat scale, this, that, and the other, that I put in my chili that not a lot of other people put in their chili. We have one that we call cast iron chili. It can only be made in cast iron. Most of the ingredients will eat metal. I can no longer eat said chili. I don't have a gallbladder. So with that, see, that was another thing that while we were on the Reddit post last night, that was another thing that came up. And I'm like, I could see that with certain brands and their flavor profile for their dark chocolate. Yes, absolutely. To the point where I can cook with yeah. See, that's where Izzy was. She wanted to follow me directly, step by step by step. She wanted to make sure everything was just the way I would have done it if I was standing there, and then she can adjust it accordingly. Uh, well, the cast iron chili, it's made with habaneros. It's made with jalapenos, and it's made with poblanos, and they're all fire roasted, stuck in a process, and once they're fire roasted and cooled off, they're stuck in a food processor and ground down and put into the chili. Which isn't that bad, except for you do about 5 or 6 habaneros, 5 or 6 jalapenos, 2 really good sized poblanos, And you're supposed to like spoon that in like one at a time until you get the flavor and the heat combo that you want. No, my dad's been known to just take the top out of it, stick it in there. And when I was not that big of a deal, or when I was younger and I had a gut of cast iron, I could eat it like it was nothing. Now, I have to weigh the pros and cons of whether I'm willing to aggravate an ulcer. That's usually where we're at with that. You know what? That man was just a fucking asshole. And if I ever come up, being nice, being nice. I cannot guarantee that he will not end up as a character in my book. In a horrible, horrible, gruesome demise. Yeah, Trisha, my body can't handle it anymore. The last time I ate it, my dad made a big pot of chili over at his house. Now, mind you, the one pot was supposed to be hot, the other pot was supposed to be fine. And my dad's brother-in-law, in all of his infinite fucking wisdom, took the spoon out of the regular chili and put it in the hot chili and dipped it out and then put the spoon back in the pot. Hey, Saros! I did not know this. I went in there. I had gotten Aries fed. I had gotten Robbie fed. Got them their stuff, got them out of the way. And I went in there to make my bowl. And I didn't even put a whole spoonful in my mouth. I put the spoon to my lip. Because somebody went to go say something to me and I had pulled back. And my whole lip had blistered. And my dad's like, what the hell happened to you? And I'm like, I don't know, but I can't feel my bottom lip. I go in there and I've got like a row of blisters on the bottom. And I said, Dad's like, which pot did you get that out of? And I pointed. He's like, no, that's your pot. That's everybody that wasn't eating hot. And that's when his brother-in-law decided to speak up and say, oh, well, the spoon was missing for that one, so I grabbed it out of the other one. He's like, I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. I was the last one to eat. Are we going to take a gander on who didn't eat? This one. But it's fine. It was whatever. But yeah, I was sitting there with freaking menthol salve trying to get my freaking lips to come down because by the time we had left the house, my lips were swelling. So I had to get home, get my Benadryl, because again, they were out of Benadryl. So get home, get my Benadryl, and just sit there with like cooling salves on my freaking face for like hours. It was nuts. I don't do that anymore. And you know what? It was great. I loved when Izzy got the meat done last night. I said, okay, now taste it, because if we need to adjust it, it's still hot enough to adjust it. I thought that woman was just going to come through the phone and give me a big ass hug. Yes, my meat mixture is pretty much the same for everything. A tweak here or a tweak there with what I put in it. But it's pretty much the exact same things I put in my meat mixture. Doesn't matter if it's for soup. It doesn't matter if it's for chili. It doesn't matter if it's for fucking tacos. Pretty much the same thing across the damn board. And Izzy has now got ideas with that meat mixture of what to do with it. And I'm happy about it. I wasn't there, but I fed her. Told her next time I come to her house, I'm either bringing a casserole or I'm making her a casserole. Because it's just the Southern thing to do. Yes, so many ideas. I told her all she got to do is make the meat up with the green peppers and onions, throw some cheese over the top, depending on what kind of cheese she wants. Throw some cheese over the top, and she got chopped, or what we call chopped sandwiches.
Yep. Okay.
If you're a sloppy Joe person, you take the exact same meat mixture. You throw a little sloppy Joe sauce to it. You got sloppy Joes. That was the first thing Mama taught me how to make was the meat mixture, and everything past that, she's like, once you mastered that, you can make anything. Because it's just adding this, subtracting that. Now I really want chili. You know what? That's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. Yeah, I was at Walmart today, but I ended up down that aisle. But I think that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go get me, because I think I have everything here but the tomatoes. I'll have to go in there and look. But I think I have everything here but the tomatoes. Go get me some tomato, or go get me the tomato I need and the freaking scoops. Because you know what? It's starting to turn off cold or cool, not cold, but it's starting to turn off cool. And usually by now, I've already made a pot. I make at least one pot during the summer. I didn't do that this year. Personally, I can't wait till it turns off real cold and then I get into my soup. And by the way, anybody who needs a good loaded potato soup, I've got a 5-ingredient one you can't fuck up. Literally.
That sounds like a challenge.
I'm going to walk you through it and you're going to see exactly how friggin' easy it is.
I have made a potato soup before. So like I do have some experience making it. Still. Hello, Karen.
And I think the best thing about this potato soup is literally it's 30 minutes and it's done.
Ooh, that's even better.
Yeah, it's one of my 30-minute meals. 5 ingredients. The longest it's going to take is to boil the water with the potatoes. Is Kieran playing with your hair? No, that was just his tail. Okay. I thought it was his paw. It wasn't. It was his tail. Oh yeah, rainbow chili. That is.
For the record, we also have a text channel in the Discord.
Oh yes.
Called Feed Me. So if you are looking for a specific type of recipe, the whole Promptcast audience, whatever, ask for a specific recipe, offer your favorite recipes, because I need to eat.
Okay, first off, Izzy finally got a deep freeze.
Yes.
So
my son bought a deep freeze.
Yeah. Will bought a deep freeze. So I'm trying to load Izzy up with meals that are super simple to make but freeze very well. See, you do it as a green based chili. Mine when I do rainbow chili, it's literally every color of the flippin' rainbow.
Oh my.
And that's from the beans to the vegetables, everything. And I have something that corresponds to each one of the colors, and therefore you got it an array of things. Also, my chili is very protein packed. So not just with the beans, but with the meat, and you can easily switch it out for what you like. So anybody who actually wants said chili recipe, not a big deal. Hit me up in the Discord. I may or may not give you the secret ingredient though. Just saying. I gave Izzy the secret ingredient because quite literally, we trying to win a contest. And Izzy has realized that while my chili doesn't necessarily come off hot right away, it builds as it sits.
Yeah. But the good news is I have been experiencing a lot of heartburn lately, and sometimes I can smell spaghetti and just instantly I've got heartburn. For no, like I smell it and I get heartburn. I do not have heartburn from this chili. So there we go. There we go. All right.
I'm going to tell
We
you
are
it's the secret
to.
ingredient.
Yeah, I can totally imagine that it's the secret ingredient. That's like, yup. So I did also put something in the chat about because we were talking about rainbows, and that suddenly reminded me. My uncle does this art form called intarsia, and I spelled it out in the chat. I actually have. Let me see if I can't point at it. Where is it? That wood piece right up there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Me. It's a scene, right? None of that wood is stained. It is all the natural colors of the wood. And so I saw this guy and he had all sorts of different colored. He's got fountain pens that he's tooled and made and cutting boards and all this stuff. And it's all different shades of wood tones and other colors. And I walked up and I touched this one and it was stripes of wood, and right in the center was this beautiful, deep purple. And I looked at, and as I'm touching it, I go, "Are you doing intarsia or do you stain?" And he goes, "I don't stain." I go, "So you do intarsia. All right, this is beautiful. This is beautiful work because what it does is takes the color of the wood naturally. And yes, there is a wood. It is Julie's favorite color of purple.
Yes, there is. And it's extremely hard to come by.
Yes, it is. And that's why it's usually only little strips that are put in. And deep reds, and you can wind up making scenes. My uncle actually made one with a tropical bird that had blues and teals and pinks in it. And there is no staining. Look it up sometime. Enrich your life. Okay. Last but not least, Julie DeFisher with another entry into Cuts and Cufflinks. And this scene is entitled Outlaws and Outsiders. 2159 Boneyard Docks, West Slip. The night air was thick, almost suffocating with the lingering smell of iron and sulfur. Low tide on the Mississippi due to a lack of spring rains dragged rotting debris from the bottom of the river with the smell permeating the docks. Thick, dense fog hung just above the cracked concrete, illuminated by the thin amber slashes from the half-dead floodlights staked along the fence line.
To anyone that happened to stumble upon this part of the doc, an ominous feeling of a ghost story they didn't want to be the main character of would keep them far away. As Riot turned off the lights and cut the engine, she allowed the darkness to engulf the Chevelle. She had chosen her stage well, praying that alone would have the desired effect of forcing Cassian Locke to abandon his pursuit. Riot didn't move right away, even though she was more than eager to just get this the hell over with. She'd make him wait and understand he had no power here. This was her playground. And even in an ambush, there were more than one way off the slip without anyone able to follow. Not even the Crownies, she was certain were close, would be able to catch her if she didn't want to be caught. Contingency plans after contingency plans were always in place, but something was different about this meeting. Her normal idling calm was now showing cracks as her knuckles tightened around the wheels, scanning the dock for movement. Riot never second-guessed herself, but this time she wondered if she'd bitten off more than she could chew. There was still oil under her nails from the shop, a fresh scrape along the side of her right forearm from an overly friendly shelf, now being rubbed raw by the leather jacket. Her left boot had scuffed chains and a half-missing buckle, the outer edge of the leather barely stitched together. All of which was barely noticeable unless someone was looking too closely, and unfortunately, with the mounting tension, she was. She exhaled slow and long, then opened the door. The Chevelle groaned as she stepped out, boots hitting concrete with a decisive thud. Riot kept her eyes scanning as she dropped the visor on the matte black helmet. No one got to see her face unless she let them. Tonight, he didn't get that privilege. A gull cried somewhere overhead, and from the shadows he stepped forward. Cassian Locke, dressed like sin, disguised as silence. No entourage of yes-men, no guards, just him in that midnight black tailored coat and a stance that said, "I'm not here to play games." Riot brought herself out into the open but refused to close the distance. She had no intentions of being within arm's reach. She wanted the space between them to stay his problem, not hers. He scanned her. That helmet. The jacket slung too low across one shoulder. Her posture was controlled, but she shifted her weight every few seconds, like her body was trying to settle into fight or flight. Cassian could tell her body was pulling her towards something she hadn't named yet, and more than likely didn't want to. His gaze flicked, just once, to that left boot. Nothing was going to escape his attention, especially if this was the only time she was willingly going to be in his presence. He didn't say a word. Didn't need to. The electricity that swirled around him said everything neither wanted to acknowledge. Riot finally took 2 steps forward, ready to get the show on the road, gloved hand resting on her hip. "You said this was business." Cassian's voice came low, smooth, but with that undercurrent he never quite filtered out when she was near. "It still is." "Then keep your eyes north of the Beltline, Locke, unless you no longer want them in your head." "I asked for a ghost. Didn't expect the Reaper to show up herself." A flicker, half amusement, half something else passed behind his eyes. Riot tilted her head, the visor catching just enough dock light to turn it into a mirror. "You here to talk business?" she asked. "Or did you come hoping to get lucky?" He smirked. "With you? I wouldn't call that luck. I'd call that divine punishment, one I'd mercifully endure." That earned the faintest lift of her chin. "Then go ahead, Cassian. Sin a little." Cassian didn't move, but the challenge that hung in the air had his pulse racing. She knew what she was doing, but he wondered just how far she'd be willing to go. He'd never stood toe-to-toe with anyone like her, at least not someone that threw the gullet back at his feet. They eyed each other for a beat, and then another. Neither wanted to make the first move. There was too much coiled between them, a silent history, unspoken rumors, the weight of bets made in smoke-filled back rooms, and the ripple effect of losses he'd never been able to trace back to her. Until this moment. Even now, all he had was posture, presence, and a helmet she used to hide herself from the world. It was something in her form, the way shadows loomed over her shoulders, darkness bending to her will, but with the understanding. I just lost my place. Hold on. Darkness bending to her will, but with the understanding they could revoke the consent at any moment. It was more as if she expected everything to betray her and waited for the ground to open up, dragging into the darkness from which she came. From what she knew, Cassian could only imagine the life she'd lived through. Or from what he knew, Cassian could only imagine the life she'd lived through before becoming the ghost he chased after. She was honed in, not even the hint of a tremble in her limb, but she gave the impression that if he blinked, she'd vanish. She appeared alive in a way most people forgot how to be. Riot, he said finally, letting the name test itself on his tongue. Is that what they call you, or what you chose? She didn't answer, just tipped her head, slow, defiant, and deliberate. When she didn't move, he took his shot and kept going, the faintest smile playing at the corner of his lips. I've heard the stories, the ghost on two wheels, the Chevelle that eats muscle cars alive on the quarter mile, the woman who made the vultures bleed by walking away. He inched closer, keeping his eyes on her. Thing is, none of them ever talk about you, just the wreckage you leave behind. Still no answer, but her stance shifted, standing her ground. Cassian's eyes narrowed. Something about her gait was off. Not enough to hint at injury, but enough to tell him she'd either been running too hard for too long, or she wasn't quite ready to be seen the way he already saw her. You okay? He asked, softer this time. Not out of concern, out of calculation. A pause. Then finally she answered, but it wasn't what he expected. You don't bet against someone dozens of times and then walk onto a dark dock hoping for mercy, Riot said, voice even through the modulator in her helmet. So whatever this is, you came prepared to bleed. Cassian chuckled low under his breath. That's the thing about bleeding. You have to know when it's worth it. Yeah? She took a step forward. And how do you measure that? He didn't hesitate. In loyalty. That word hit harder than he meant it to, because he felt it echo in his own ribcage, a memory he hadn't asked for. A soft dress, a bruised promise, a woman walking away without ever once looking back. Riot didn't respond immediately, but her breath caught, so subtle only someone like him would notice it. That word had been thrown around all her life, to the point it almost had no meaning anymore. But from someone like Cassian, it was a reality check. She wasn't sure she wanted to cash. Silence returned, stretching between them, a storm that hadn't broken yet. After several long beats, she lifted her gloved hand and tapped the side of her helmet once, opening the visor a crack. The orange lights from the dock caught her in profile, making her appear more dangerous and tempting. Good, she said, because the last two men who asked for my loyalty, one ended up dead, and the other tried to own me. Cassian's jaw ticked, something old and unburied flickering through him again. I'm not looking to own anyone, he replied. I'm looking to hire. Now, finally, she moved closer, a full stride. He could smell motor oil, wind, and something sharp underneath, like burned adrenaline and smoke. Then talk, but don't waste my time with rehearsed lines or half-truths. I'm not one of your polished princesses or boardroom backstabbers. I will end you in the most methodical way and not even bat an eye. Riot's voice came out, even, but harsh. No, he agreed. You're something else entirely. Cassian didn't flinch as she stepped in closer, helmet still in place, visor slightly parted but no visual. It was like negotiating with a shadow, a beautiful, volatile shadow who smelled like gasoline and grit. He reached into his jacket, pulled out a slim folder, and extended it toward her. She didn't take it. He waited. She didn't move. I thought we were done with smoke and mirrors, Riot said flatly. He blinked. It's not a con. You want details, they're right here. Still, she made no move for the file. Instead, she turned slightly, weight shifting to one hip, arms crossed. Cassian sighed. There's a shipment coming in through the Gulf. Not the usual kind of trouble, but enough red flags to make me second-guess the people I pay to handle it. I need eyes. I need steel nerves. And if something goes sideways, I need someone who won't fold. Her silence cut sharper than a thread. He pushed on. You'll be compensated, generously. I don't throw nickels at people I consider assets. That earned a dry laugh from her, low and mocking. Assets? Cassian tensed. You know, for someone asking for my time, my face, and my firepower, she said coolly, you haven't actually told me a single reason why I should give a damn. I just did, he bit back. No, she corrected, turning fully now, her posture screaming done. You danced around it, you played the part, you spun pretty words, but I don't run for men who think I'm less than or need to be impressed. This all sounds like a you problem, and you haven't given me one solid reason for me to make it my problem. She turned to walk away, steps unhurried, unapologetic. Cassian cursed under his breath, then moved, grabbing her arm, not hard, not threatening, but enough to stop her mid-stride. Wait. His voice lowered now, less composed. Damn it, wait. Why do you always assume the worst? Frustration evident and barely contained. Can't you just trust me or anyone for once? She turned just enough for the light to catch the edge of her visor. His jaw tightened. The truth is, he said, I think someone inside my family's network is trying to cut their own deal. I think it's dirty. I think it's tied to things I can't risk surfacing. And I think if I send anyone I trust, they won't come back. A beat. Then another. I need someone who doesn't owe me anything. Someone who doesn't flinch, doesn't bend, and doesn't come cheap. I need someone that no one will be able to see coming. That's you. Still, she didn't move. And the real reason I came to you instead of anyone else? He said, softer now, like admitting it burned his throat. You've beaten me more times than I care to count. On the track, on the street, in every damn play I've made. You never fold. And that's exactly the kind of woman I want on my side. Just once. Riot didn't speak, didn't even breathe, from what he could tell. But when she pulled her arm from his grasp, it wasn't violent or cruel, just final. I'll think about it, Riot said, walking off into the shadows, leaving Cassian staring at the empty space she left behind. And for the first time in years, he had no idea if he'd won or lost. He didn't move, not when she disappeared into the dark, not when he heard the door eased shut behind her. He just stood there, hands still outstretched from where she'd pulled away, lips parted as if one more sentence might have tipped the scale in his favor. But it didn't, and she was gone from his sight. Silence hung in the alley like fog, broken only when the Chevelle roared to life, angry and full-throated, like her. It echoed off the brick and steel, a wild snarl thrown at the night. Cassian closed his eyes as it peeled out, tires biting pavement, the sound fading with distance but never with heat. He exhaled through his nose, reached into his coat, and thumbed his phone screen to life. A single call, direct. Stand down, he said when it connected. But sir, I said stand down. Don't follow. Don't touch her. If I find out anyone puts eyes on her tonight, I'll gut the whole unit and start over. Am I clear? Crystal. He hung up and didn't look back at the alley she disappeared down. Cassian didn't need to. Every muscle in his jaw was clenched tight as he made the walk back to the car waiting inside of what was left of the burned-out structure. A sleek black Aston Martin that looked too pristine for a man unraveling. The driver glanced in the mirror but didn't ask questions, and Cassian didn't offer any answers. Back to Memphis. Cassian slid into the back seat with a murderous look forming. The city blurred past him in lights and shadows. By the time he stepped into the penthouse, Cassian's whole outlook had shifted. The high-rise suite of steel and glass felt too cold and sterile to be home. Within moments, his jacket was slung across a chair, tie discarded, and his hands were buried deep in his pockets as he paced. The skyline that stretched wide outside his window no longer interested him. The black folder she hadn't touched, hadn't even looked at, now sat discarded on the marble counter like an insult, a rejection he couldn't get her to reconsider in the moment. He could still feel the ghost of her voice echoing down his spine and through his veins. I don't run for men who think I need to be impressed. Pouring himself a drink, Cassian didn't sip it. He just held it like it might answer questions she wasn't there to answer. His mind swam with her scent, like danger in the last honest fight he hadn't bought. 11:31 p.m., heading back to the garage. The moment the match met the gasoline, Riot knew there'd be trouble. But curiosity had to get the best of her, and now she was kicking her own ass. She had let him get closer than any of the others that had tried. He had touched her, even if it was just her arm. He now knew she was real. Anyone else would have been laid out on the concrete trying to collect their dignity before standing. Call Jet! Riot screamed at her phone, barreling through the side streets, making sure she wasn't being tailed. How'd it go? Jed answered, bracing herself for the screaming. Garage in 10, coming in hot, was all Riot snapped out before dumping the phone back into the seat. How in the fuck could I be so stupid? I know the rules. Hell, I created the fucking rules. And now look at me, dodging no driving ass drivers. No one better be following me. Next time I have a great fucking idea or get curious about something, shoot me. Just take me the hell out of the... Anger turned into fury as she navigated the narrow one-way streets without hitting or getting hit. By the time Riot made it to the shop, the doors were wide open awaiting her arrival. It was always easier to make Reckoner disappear when someone was operating the escape hatch. Now, with every eye in the city more than likely looking for the Chevelle, Riot had zero time to get the Midnight Beauty off the road. Jet grabbed the chain for the overhead door, pulling hard. Riot killed the engine, forcefully opened the door, and launched her helmet across the shop with enough force to scatter a box of bolts. Fuck! I take it the meeting didn't go well? What gave you that fucking clue? Riot stood from the driver's seat, running her hands through her sweat-soaked hair. It wasn't supposed to go down this way. But here she was, with a potential target bigger than the last one on her back. She paced back and forth like a caged animal that was being cornered, stopping just long enough to lay her hands on the workbench, slamming a wrench down on the bench hard enough to make a socket set jump. Riot tried to breathe, but the air felt like glass shredding her lungs. That line is gold. Fucking Locke. Fuck his damn obsession. Fuck his damn money. She growled, pacing across the garage with her gloves still on, boots crunching over the spilled bolts and dried oil. Jet took her front row seat to the latest of Riot's meltdowns. She stayed out of the line of fire, perched on the front clip of a half-gutted Charger, arms crossed, wisely saying nothing, letting Riot just get it all out. She was typically easier than trying to wrangle the snapping pit bull. Thinks he can throw money around like it's holy water and I'm going to fall at his feet? Does he not know who the hell he's fucking with? Riot snapped. Thinks because he says please and dangles secrets like candy, I'm going to roll over? You didn't roll over, Jet offered, getting the gist of the meeting without having to ask for the play-by-play. Riot shot a death glare that could melt steel. Jet shrugged, knowing it would take a bit longer for her to run out of steam and look at this with a logical perspective. I mean, you didn't. Riot ripped the gloves from her hands, tossed them on the table. He saw me. He looked at me, Jet. Really fucking looked. You let him see her face? Panic rose in Jet's voice. No, that was the only smart thing I did. but it was like he saw me as a damn puzzle he couldn't crack. I'm the missing link, and he can't fucking stand it. Men like him never do. They don't get how no is a whole damn sentence and leverage whatever they can to make it yes. Are you gonna say no? Or did you say no? Her silence answered that question well enough. I should, she muttered. I should walk away, lock everything down and bolt. Jet nodded slowly. But she blew out a breath and leaned back against the bench, head tipped toward the ceiling, the grime-streaked fluorescence humming above her. But I want to know what's so important he came to me with it. He didn't step on my turf without a plan, and if I don't at least consider seeing it through, someone else might get hurt. Then I think you answered your own question. Jet took a good long look at Riot. She had never seen her blow up like this over a guy or a job. But there was something about Cassie and Locke that stuck in Riot's craw, and she was going to sit back and watch. Two things would undoubtedly happen. Riot was either going to fuck him or kill him. Hopefully not at the same time.
Right? Yeah, I noticed that after while you were reading it.
I know, I was just making a note of it for later. I mean, obviously, I may have a couple of grammar notes for when you button everything up. But damn girl. I'm super fucking glad that I did not get mine done this week because there's no way I was following that shit up. Mine would have been a fucking letdown after that. Fuck. Now, just think, if we hadn't spent 2.5 fucking days, I was combining the time into actual hours. 2.5 fucking days of time. So 48 plus 12, 60 hours. If we hadn't spent about 60 hours this week peeling back the layers of what happened before the book even fucking starts, I can almost guarantee that would not have been as powerful because you wouldn't have felt their motivations or their like what brought them to this point. And can I also say that I absolutely love Julie's development over the last 2.5, almost 3 years that I have known her. Because at the beginning, it was this I have to write it literally. I have to start at the beginning of the story and then I just write and boom. And now she's writing out of order. When the scene comes to her, she's like, "Oh, I got to get this down. I got to write this scene." And now she's even doing a bit of planning, like planning what goes into these characters and character development before she's ever even writing the scenes on the page. And tonight's work shows the benefit that really getting into the heads of her characters and doing the work ahead of time is doing. That's that's all I got to say. While I, lose my.
Breathe. Oh, is you got to break out the inhaler. Yeah. So, anybody else in the here comes Bubba.
Sorry, back from the
You're
drama.
good.
I got part of that, and I will adhere and join on to Izzy. You've grown. Both of us have.
Yo. And I was really worried about this damn scene not landing right. I really was. There are several spots in this that, I had the transition of because you start out in, because I write in third person, everybody knows this. Um, you follow her and her getting out of the car because that's the most important thing. It's her headspace and everything like that. And then you quickly switch when they're finally standing toe to toe with each other, you know, into his or a little bit of both back and forth, but mostly him. You're getting his side of the feelings and everything like that because I don't want you to feel her fucking feelings until the end.
Right, and that is a very delicate balance. Julie's
I'm
been
on the show.
watching me as I have been. This you can't really. Okay, you see the checklist. I am developing some basic cheat sheets, writing guides that are available. They're going to be available as free resources and whatnot. Just to give you like a cheat sheet for commas made simple. When you're going back through and editing and whatnot. Things like wordiness and redundancy. I even catch myself doing it, and then I'm like on the third or fourth pass, I catch it and whatnot. So a lot of us can't afford editors, like professional, get paid to do it editors. We're all helping each other out. And then we have some people in our circle that are professional editors, but we can't afford them either. So it's a lot of things like dialogue tags, how to format, things like that. And obviously, this is English based. So if you're working from another language, look at your own whatever. But it's things like this that Julie and I have spent a lot of time going over and talking and Googling, to get to that point. And one of them is going to be about point of view. Another one is what is the difference between point of view and perspective. And when you switch back and forth, there's an art form when you're switching back and forth between different people's POVs. You only if it's third person limited, you're only usually in one person's headspace, and then the next scene you're in another person's headspace. And there were a few transitions there where it was just like, wait, what just happened? I got a little confused because we head hopped, but at the same time, You need to have those perspectives. So how do you
Right.
do that? And you're going to figure that out. And so there we go. I have to be right back. I am being summoned.
But right. But yeah, I've been literally so worried about everything all week of, is this going to land right? Is this going to land right? Or did I, put enough detail in it? Did I keep enough detail out of it? Um and while most of this was created, I mean, I had the scene, I had the gist of what I had previously, plotted out for this scene. This was not the scene that I was originally going to go with, um, but it's the one that fit the best for me to work with. And, I still got some things that I need to go in here and, switch it up a little bit and, give it a little bit more zhuzh. But it's watching Riot have a fucking hissy fit when she's this controlled, um nothing bothers me, cool as ice type character, and watching her literally have a goddamn hissy fit, it's kind of funny. To me, it's kind of funny because you're watching this person that literally not 30 minutes prior was just like, I'm done, I'm walking away, and you can't make me stay. And now she's in her freaking car running through the streets of Memphis trying to get back to her shop, hoping and praying that if she is being tailed, they can't follow her through all the side streets. And she's losing it.
I will say this, when you all write a character who is angry and doing those, who the fuck does he think he is? I'm going to screw him up, and spit him out, and just when it flows naturally like that, those are probably some of my favorite pieces of dialogue to read of y'all's. All y'all, because it's this tirade of righteous rage. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the not righteous rage that is just bitching to bitch, those are also fun to read.
Yes.
Okay, kitty crisis averted.
Oh, please tell me they didn't get in the pot.
No, Purra got her. Purra was scratching her ear and got her claw caught in her ear folds and was screaming.
Oh God, I thought. Well, I know how your feline terrorists are, and I know where those crockpots are located. So I'm like, oh God, please tell me one of them didn't end up in the pot.
They're still super hot, and they won't get close to them when they're still super hot. Physical hot. But no, it was mostly, she was calm, she was fine, there was no blood. So I had to calm down said Kitty's father.
Yeah.
Yep. And then here's the cutest thing in the world. While Will is like, well, you know the inside of a cat's ear better than I do, and I just want to make sure that everything's fine with my baby. Purra, being held like a baby, puts her paw up on Will's mouth, going, "Shh, Dad, shh, shh." And then her eyes slanted over to me and narrowed, and Will looks at her and goes, "No, I will not shut up." And Purra's reaction was like, "Don't tell Grandma on me. I'm fine, Dad. Like, leave it alone." I swear to
It's
God, these cats.
adorable and it's funny.
It is adorable. It really, really is. Okay. But yeah, we as a group of writing group friends are just elevating each other's work and hearing things and learning things together, and we all gonna write the next awesome book together as a team.
And by the way, what was that cut of your eyes at me during that one sentence, and you just it was at the top of
I know,
when I was
I can visually see it here. Just
easy.
Folders, 2025. Open. Scroll up. Where was it? Oh. Riot tilted her head, the visor catching just enough dock light to turn it into a mirror. You here to talk business? She asked. Or did you come hoping to get lucky? He smirked. With you? I wouldn't call that luck. I'd call that divine punishment, one I'd mercifully endure. That one?
Yeah, that one.
That was literally her going, or did you think you were going to get laid? And him going, I call that divine punishment. That was. I can't tell if he was insulting her and saying that fucking her would be a horrible experience, but then he called it divine and saying that he would mercifully endure it. Like, there's so many contradicting. Is he insulting her? Is he saying yes, he wants to fuck her? Did it like I guess we're gonna find out.
Yep, we're gonna find out.
Or are we? It depends what this next
No,
prompt
we're
Yeah, it all depends what the dice do.
No, because you realize that we are all going to have this book in our hands at some point, at which point we have the whole story. So we will find out whether it's next week or later. I guess everybody's just got to tune in every single week in order to find out if it's revealed on the show or if they have to buy the book.
Right. Though I was really worried about the lung line, and I was praying to God it landed the way it needed to land. But according to your eyes, it landed the way it needed to land.
Oh, the glass. Oh my God. That was visceral and descriptive because I've been cut by glass before, right? And let's go one step further. I have COPD, right? And that's a lung thing. And I watched my father die of complications of COPD. And I have another friend who is on oxygen for their COPD. And yeah, glass tearing through lungs. That just ooh. Oh,
And
yeah, it
anybody
landed.
who's had an anxiety attack and tried to breathe through it, that's exactly what the fuck it feels like, is something is tearing you from the inside out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
So I'm glad that line landed. So I was like, but this is what I've been worried about all freaking week, is trying to make sure that everything landed the way it was supposed to.
Success.
All right. Let's see what the dice have in store for us this week.
What choices?
Okay. 43.
Unused regular concept prompts 43. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
A character is forced to confront someone from their past that they've been avoiding for years. How does the confrontation unfold?
Fucking hell! Apparently, there will be another installment of Cuts and Cufflinks next week.
I mean, not necessarily. Maybe it doesn't get voted on, and you choose to not go that route. You never know. Let's see. Next.
65.
Oh.
I don't like that giggle.
A character discovers a map leading to a treasure, but the treasure has been hidden for centuries and many believe it is cursed.
Ezra. Or not Ezra, Ezio.
Ezio. Oh, fuck me. That's number 2.
27.
Starting first line. Oh, okay. So this one has come up before, sorta, kinda. It's marked for review in 2026. But I know that Julie's used it.
In Crossroads, available at your favorite retailer. Go pay Daddy Bezos so that he can pay Julie. He had enjoyed 10 years of being totally irresponsible.
Oh, fuck. By the way, that's a Nikki line out of...
Okay, Trisha. Oh.
13.
113. Let's go to the list. Scroll. Oh, this one has a character name. So, please remember, if you are not feeling or connected with the name, or it doesn't suit what you have going, feel free to change the name. You can also change genders.
Starting first line. The rain had stopped, but the ground was still soaked when Elena stepped into the abandoned house for the first time.
46.
Dialogue.
I won't let them hurt you. One hundred. 54. 154. There's so many good ones tonight. So many fucking good ones tonight. Use this dialogue. This is a mistake, she said, pacing. It was never supposed to go this far.
Fuck!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 in the chat. Please, dear audience of prompters. 1. A character is forced to confront someone from their past that they've been avoiding for years. How does the confrontation unfold? Write that confrontation scene. Number 2, concept. A character discovers a map leading to a treasure, but the treasure has been hidden for centuries, and many believe it is cursed. Number 3, starting first line. He had enjoyed 10 years of being totally irresponsible. Number 4, starting first line. The rain had stopped, but the ground was still soaked when Elena stepped into the abandoned house for the first time. Number 5, use this dialogue. I won't let them hurt you. Number 6, use this dialogue. This is a mistake, she said, pacing. It was never supposed to go this far. It's so hard to decide.
Is he breaking out the dice?
There we go. Pop's lucky greed dice.
Fuck! I've got to be the tiebreaker. Both of which. Why are you yelling Julie like that?
Or grab your D6. Say even is one of them, odd is the other one. Leave it up to chance.
Or I can invoke wrench.
Do you know how many times you invoke wrench these days?
Just so I don't have to make a decision. All right, let me grab a 6. Give me a minute.
A 6, S-I-X, people. Please note that she did say 6.
It's at the bottom of the damn thing. Hold on.
I got this bag.
I literally have 2 sets of dice in the same bag, so it's like give me a second.
This is this is just all of my D6.
Yeah, this is the set that came with this.
Right. And then
and
the one I
the
got
set
you.
that Izzy bought me.
Well,
Okay.
my dad, Pop had a bunch of dice, and
Mind you, I'm using the Izzy Dragon Eye.
ooh, the purple dragon eye. The dragon eye floats inside the dice.
Oh fuck.
Which one? Wait. You okay? So you said 4 was any odd number.
It landed
right?
on the number.
Oh, okay. And what's the number?
6.
6.
It landed on the number. I was gonna do it like this. If it was anything else, if it was odd, it was this. If it was even, it was that. But if it landed on either 6 or 4, that was the way that was gonna play. It landed on 6.
So, use this dialogue.
This is a mistake, she said, pacing. It was never supposed to go this far. Dun, dun, dun.
I can't wait to see what Patrick pulls out for this.
Oh my god.
I have currently at this moment nothing that it will fit into. I will have to force and zhuzh it, or something will be revealed to me later on in the week.
I know where you can put it.
Yeah, but it would be forced because there's stuff about my book that you don't know, and there's stuff about your book that I don't know.
Maggie.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I will not invoke Maggie right now. There we go. That is the prompt for September 27th, 2025. And again, it does not have to be she. You could say they, if it's a non-binary, or he if it's a dude. Hell, it could even be an it if it was AI or a computer. Can you imagine Paul Bettany as Vision/Jarvis saying that?
Yes.
Just putting it out there. This is a mistake, Vision said, pacing. It was never supposed to go this far. Sorry, I have a thing for Paul Bettany, and it may or may not have anything to do with his role in A Knight's Tale.
Right.
So, don't forget, everybody who is currently in our chat is already either in the Discord, on the newsletter, both, whatever. But for those of you watching afterwards, please consider going to our bio, hitting the link, going to our Beacons page, locating our Discord, our newsletter. Go follow us over on YouTube as well. We take all of these and post them at the end of the night, exporting them over. We do also have all of our old episodes from when we started saving them posted up there. We are missing some because they were over on TikTok, and we are in the process, slowly but surely, of editing them. Editing. When Shar isn't working on her own other shit because Julie and I can't edit video. We're not there yet. The fact that I can run OBS and put us all where we're supposed to be is
That's saying something.
that's
Basically.
saying something. So all that together, you can see where we've come from. Hey, Julie, what was the date of the episode where French toast is explained?
Okay, French toast is explained on November 9th of 2024. And the whole thing is I had to go back and watch it because it was brought up into the Discord. Well, the whole thing is well, yes, we do the whole thing with French toast for Dahlia, because Dahlia was the reason that we did that. But technically, it's wrong.
No,
It's
it's
what
not
they're
wrong.
threatened with, but you don't
Uh-huh.
actually know who did it.
No, I know, but it was the thought of. That was the instant where we realized what was going into the smoothies.
Right. The breakfast,
And
all-in-one breakfast
and
smoothie.
yelling out French toast is a whole lot better than trying to say bacon and eggs.
Right. It doesn't
Or
have the same
sausage and gravy or whatever. It doesn't have the same thing. So French toast is like, because that was the moment that we realized the significance of the goddamn breakfast flavored smoothies. November 9th, 2024. Find that episode. Find the timestamp for Delia's story and have your mind blown.
It's one of the first stories we did.
So yeah, one of the first episodes up.
So it was one of her, or when you go into the episode, hers is like literally one of the first ones there. But it started the compilation of having enough Dahlia moments.
Yeah.
That we started doing one that was literally like every time we yelled Dahlia. And we were taking those clips and making those moments. So it's funny to us.
Yep. It's our very first inside joke.
Yeah, very first inside
French toast is us as a team, us as an audience team collaboration. That is our very first inside joke, and we have a blast with it. So come join, help us come up with more inside jokes, inside moments. One that is not a joke, but we invoke it a lot. Context is important. And when you leave out context in your stories, that's just as important. So, that's another trick, another trade thing. Like, leave the context out that will spoil the surprise, but leave in important context that gives you the world building, the character development, and all of that stuff. So, come join us for nonstop, uncensored misbehavior. Yeah, it's misbehavior. In the Discord, Julie and I spend most afternoons Eastern time from about 7 until about 11 p.m. Eastern time. That's my time. In the Discord, just, riffing. Sometimes we're doing screen sprints, writing sprints.
Yeah.
That's the word. I don't know why. It's been a long day. Okay. We do writing sprints. We also have collaboration breakout rooms. So, like, let's say there's 5 or 6 of us in the chilling voice chat or the body doubling or the, sprint room. And during one of our sprint 15-minute breaks or in between, 2 people start collaborating on trying to drill down on something in one of their stories. You want to go take it off to a private room? We've got 3 of them. Breakdown or breakout room 1, 2, and 3. The other night, Julie and I were in one of the rooms while GT Gretz, Trevor Billings, and CL Carner were in one of the other ones. And just drilling down on a project and bouncing things off and, back and forth. So if you see somebody in one of those rooms, please do not go in there uh, unless invited, because it is for them to concentrate on what they're working on and not distract other people, whatnot. And then, like I said, we've got the body doubling where we just kind of chill and go. Sometimes I'll even be like, Julie, you told me you started a load of laundry 2 hours ago. Have you switched it? Because I may not notice that she has switched her laundry because I'm doing something else, but I'll just suddenly have that thought, and then she'll be like, "Oh shit, I didn't. Thank you," and runs off and does it. And the number of times this woman has says, didn't you have the pan on the stove?" So we full service buddy system help and hang out and chill, and we're not all about work. Obviously, you've seen our show. We are not all about work. Um, but yeah, and I promise I'm gonna try to get something in this week. I've been slacking lately.
Well, you've had a lot going on, and
Yes, and we all do. And it's not a competition. It's not a race. So
no, this is a mother flipping marathon, and apparently we're all flipping running it.
Yo.
And no, we're not all gonna cross the finish line at the same time. We're not all gonna, have the time that the others have to get things done. But we do have a support system of, look, I know it looks bleak right now. Patrick had to give me that freaking pep talk the other night. I was like, look, I know it looks bleak right now, but you've got this. Oh, yeah, by the way, I human that you have to keep alive every day.
Right?
So it is what it is. It will be what it will be. But we are approaching that
2.5.
2.5 hour. So we're gonna go ahead and sign off for the night. Izzy, one more time with our prompt for this week.
This is a mistake, she said, pacing. It was never supposed to go this far.
All right. You guys know what your assignment is. Look for the email Monday afternoon because, regardless if we have a double day or not, we got so much going on the days that we don't do this that, yeah, sometimes it just falls by the wayside. Or, me and Izzy will remember halfway through the day, get it done, get it scheduled, and go about our day. But this is where we're at, and this is what we're doing. So remember, don't add to the population, don't subtract from the population. If you get arrested, assert dominance, and then call me in case we need bail money. Otherwise, be brave, be bold, but always stay humble. And we will see you again, same bat chime, same bat channel, here next week. Bye!